Rimworld and random ranting about bullshit. We're a very prosperous and comfortable country here now, or settlement. We've got everybody's got a room. We got Nobu here. He's on a quest. He's only 4 days away before we can release him. Oh, transport pod. This could mean a new settler. Let's see. Are they worth saving? 56-year-old. He's okay. Well, he's maybe this will improve it. So let's send Obs, who is the doctor, out to rescue Daniels. See if she can't save his life. Hopefully she can. We don't really have a room for him, so hopefully he doesn't join us just yet. We don't really want to get any bigger until we've improved some conditions here for our existing populace. So let's get that in there. We don't need this wooden furniture in here anymore. And this steel table, we never built this. We actually took this from a ruin and fixed it up. Uh-oh. All right. There's 3 up there. Are there more? Yeah, there's one down here as well. All right. Let's get the militia together here. Does Pepper have a weapon? No. Pepper, get this short bow. Okay, did Daniels get properly healed up? Close enough. I don't want Daniels. I hope he doesn't join. He's got a bad artery. He's been eating too many Italian beefs, too many gibberitos. Let's go kill this one first because they're by themselves. Oh, what a shot! What a shot from Granny Salazar. Where'd she hit him? She shot off his middle finger. Another shot. Oh, it's brutal. Let him have it. All right, he's dead. All right. So, Obs, capture this one. And then everybody else proceed to the other side of the base. They're not attacking yet. So there's 3 out there still, though. We need to be wary of that. Oh, this looks like a silver meteorite. So Obs has captured this prisoner. Maybe okay. Here's the attack. So Ironhead and Pepper here. All right, get the militia back together, guys. Obs, you focus on healing that guy. Let's see. Is he gonna make it? Oh, he's gonna be close. He might bleed out. Oh, no, it looks like Obs has already saved him. All right, the militia's firing. Focus all fire on the Superstar Destroyer. I mean, the guy with a missile weapon. Oh, Pepper took a shot. Uh-oh. All right, one down. Turkey. Oh, no, man. A guy named Turkey. That is foreboding, right? Man, you cannot trust turkeys. Pepper with the soft shot from the bow. Turkey takes another hit. We're getting... 4chan is taking some serious damage. All right, this one's down. All right. 4chan, back off. Back off, 4chan. All right, don't get caught in a melee there, guys. Let that guy run right through. He's down. He's down. He's down. All right. All right. Everybody's relieved. Salazar capture Turkey. And Obs is currently in trauma surgery. She's beep, beep, with Trosma, whose finger will never be the same after Granny Salazar shot it off. And then Obs is almost finished up the healing there. All right, so what are we looking at here? Turkey, he's got 4 hours to live. Ironhead, he's got 4 hours to live. 4chan, he's got 12 hours to live. All right, so Obs, I want you to get Ironhead healed up. He's your #1 priority. All right, he's good. Now get to Turkey real quick. How's Pepper? Pepper's got 16 hours. He's fine. This is hard work for Obs. Dr. Aubrey is working all over the place, trying to heal up the rest of the peeps. Granny Salazar is the only one who didn't take any damage there. She did shoot a man's finger off, which is a pretty significant accomplishment, frankly. Like, bam, your middle finger is gone. Because Granny Salazar took it from you. 4chan, did he get healed up? All right, so everybody's been addressed. Granny Salazar, you need to clean up the whole place because you got to reduce the infection chances here. We have too much blood lying on the ground, Granny. Granny, clean this room too. Clean Trasma's blood up. All right. Trasmo from the Barra kinship. All right, so who are the Barrow kinship? They're a fierce tribe, okay, and they're our enemies right now. But I have a suspicion that, yeah, they would appreciate it if we freed these people. So we'll see if they live. If they live, we'll probably let them go. I mean, we don't know. You can't know. You can't know. You can't know. Did I export that last episode? I don't believe I did. So let me export it now. Export. I'm a professional, and you can tell I'm a professional by the fact that I don't do anything in a dedicated professional manner. I just do shit whenever I feel like it. Return to orbit. Return to orbit 2. Return to orbit 3. Did I not export episode 4? Oh man, I could go for an Italian beef right now. I'd go for a Philly cheesesteak right now too. Oh no, here it is. Alright. So, what day do I need to schedule that for? August 12th. Schedule for August 12th. Yeah, I mean, a professional would never do this. Do their YouTube at the same time that they were still streaming the last episode. No. Alright, and then number 5, I'll just go ahead and schedule this as well. This should be August 13th. Great. And then these 2 episodes also... Oh, I fucked that up somehow. Oh, weird. Okay, whatever. August 12th. At 12 noon. 12 noon. I need to add those to that playlist as well. There we go. But I'm a professional. Professional kind of guy. I do my admin while I'm actually still working. So here's our colony. We got 4chan. He's our scientist. He is engaged to marry Granny Salazar. Granny Salazar is 58 years old and 4chan is 18. When they hooked up, he was 17 years old. I know it's not right, but this is Rimworld. It's not like real life. It's not the same. Then there's Ironhead. He's the mayor of Ironheadburg, but Salazar is actually Granny Salazar is actually royalty. She's a what is she? She's a Yaya woman, and I think she's only a point away from the next level as well. I think she can be an acolyte next. Maybe not. Maybe not. Anyways, there's Ironhead. He's the brawn and the hard work ethic of the operation. Then there's Aubrey Obbs. Obbs is from outer space. She fell from the sky with a gunshot wound to her chest. And when she recovered, she's the most talented doctor. She works on the night shift because she doesn't really like, being out while it's bright out. And then there's Pepper. He's our newest addition. He's the finest chef in this part of the rim. His specialty is Trinidadian doubles, which is a beautiful chickpea sandwich in curried chickpea and bread with very, very hot sauce. That's why they call him Pepper, though, because he makes it real spicy. Nobu is a prisoner of love. Nobu slept with the wrong woman back out in the empire of Trolagel, and they sent him here to protect him. That woman was a Theodora. Theodora, he says every night. And our newly captured prisoners, Turkey and Trasma, from the Barrow kinship, who, if they make it, we're gonna send away because we need to make more friends. and the Barrow kinship are not our friends. So hopefully we can improve that relationship a bit with them, and maybe they won't attack us anymore. We haven't, you know, gone super far, but you know, one day 4chan, Granny Salazar, his blushing bride. Well, she can't really blush anymore because she's too old and her blood pressure's too low. So like if she blushes, she faints, and that's not good. And Captain Ironhead, rather. One day they want to get back into space, you know, because they fell down here by accident. There was a problem with the ship's reactor, and you know, they fell down to space. OBS might have been on that same spacecraft. Nobody really knows because you're in stasis on the ship. But she didn't show up until later when she fell from the sky with a gunshot wound. So something happened in space to Aubrey, and Ironhead has been macking on Aubrey. Aubrey just turned 18 and Ironhead is 39. So we could have another spring fall romance brewing here. Not quite as extreme as 4chan and Salazar's 40-year difference, but still pretty extreme. Pepper, he's 42. He just got here. I don't know, you know, Pepper. He's a very nimble guy, but I don't think he really does very well with the ladies because of his annoying voice. So Daniel's exited the map healthy, and I don't know who that was, but I didn't hurt them, so they must have healed themselves. They didn't drop from the sky. They weren't a pod people. So I'm not complaining, but I didn't have anything to do with that. So yeah, Theodore Melodius was Nobu's girlfriend, and as you can see, she's actually the head of the Empire of Trogel. And she's married. She has a husband, and are we finally making fine meals? We are. All right, so it's about time here to erase these. And then cook fine meal times 4 forever. And then cook simple meal times 4 until you have, let's go with 30. We don't want to, you know. And then I think we should take the raws off of here, because we want to protect the meals, and putting stuff on the shelves, really helps protect it. So let's take the raws off. Get that raw off there. So there's some fine meals being fed now to Trozma. I'm not sure you should waste your fine meals on unconscious, kind of enemies. Yeah, a little earlier I was talking about how Chicago is the culinary capital of the world. And yeah, I know that's not really arguable. I know there's no point in having a joke about it because it's true. And one of the things I mentioned only briefly was the Gibberito, which is a Chicago sandwich. It's a Puerto Rican sandwich, and what it is it's 2 plantains that have been smashed flat and fried, and no bread, and then garlic mayo, and then pork, usually thinly sliced ham, because pork is really popular in Puerto Rico. But, so there's a lot of Puerto Ricans in Chicago. In fact, I think there's probably more Puerto Ricans in Chicago than anywhere but Puerto Rico and New York City. Because there's obviously a lot of Puerto Ricans in New York City, too. So anyways, ham, cheese, usually the cheapest American cheese, lettuce and tomato. And then the whole thing's kind of smashed flat. And it's a really good sandwich. It's not, it's not Italian beef. It's not an Il Taco Foods pizza puff. It's not a Philly cheesesteak, but it's really good, and I highly recommend the Gibberito. It's a fantastic sandwich, but things like that are kind of unique to Cultural Collision, right? It's a great sandwich, though that one is obviously a little bit more ethnocentric than some of the other ones. I mean, it's no Italian beef. Let's just say that. One of the things that's interesting, I'm actually looking at the Cuisine of Chicago wiki page, And one of the things I don't see here is a steak and lemonade. Oh, the shuttle's here for Nobu. All right, well, 4chan carry Nobu to the shuttle, and he can go back to his love Theodora. And he can go, and we'll have succeeded in the mission. And off it goes. Quest complete, prisoner Nobu. So all that got us was a little bit of Salazar cred, right? Oh, we've completed mortars. Excellent, excellent. So let's go straight up to turrets. So Salazar, did she rank up? No, she's at Yeoman 5. So she actually needs she needs another royal favor before she can rank up to Acolyte. Actually, ranking her up to Acolyte is not great because you know, you don't want her to get too picky. You know, you want her to be realistic about what we can worry about here. You know, what the things that are important to our society here, and of course, number one priority of Iron Headberg is getting off this goddamn rock. So we're gonna release Turkey and Trasma because they are victims of their culture and not, you know, they didn't do anything wrong except try to kill us, and that's everybody's trying to kill us. So it doesn't really matter, you know. So we're gonna freeze the marble blocks here and get some more granite because we want to finish the outer walls that we've gotten to so far. So I think we'll do the whole courtyard next. We're not going to build this wall because we need to leave room in case we need to put some, you know, need to build some other bedrooms here, like maybe like a couple of them like this. We might one day need more bedrooms. I mean, we could come up with more people, right? So it got a solar flare, which is unfortunate, but at least it's not the middle of winter or anything. It is real cold, so I'm actually not really right. Let me freeze the sowing there. It is the 8th of September, and the growing season here is not super long, so we got 4,000 rice though, so we'll be fine to make it through the winter. So what else should we do with this 500? We should build a couple more chest tables, so we can get rid of the old ratty wood one that was in the kitchen over there. And we should put a lamp in here so we can actually see which one's the pawn and which one's the queen and what happens when the pawn takes a rook. And then we'll get a poker table and a billiards table as well. This is going to be a primo rec room. It's going to be high end. It's going to have blackjack and snooker. And it's going to be a great time for everybody in there. It's 10C. This is the last. We should end the growing season. We got enough food anyways. So let's see. It takes so long. Ironhead, without light, it's not going to turn out good anyway. So why don't you build the light instead, Ironhead? Build this light. It'll be better. Construction is faster and has a higher likelihood of succeeding with lights. Almost all jobs are that way. So if you have, if you're mining in a cave, if you throw down a wooden torch, the mining goes faster. And if you're building, the chance of failure goes down if there's light. So sometimes throwing down a torch is worth the frustration of having to be like, oh, you built a shitty double bed, destroy it again, destroy it again. Even if you're gonna have, like, you know, colored party lights in there instead. Yeah, so steak and lemonade, right, is like a South Side Chicago tradition. And I don't know if it's actually from Chicago, but it's very popular in African American neighborhoods in Chicago. And the lemonade is actually like a Slurpee, like an icy. And the steak is chopped steak, lightly seasoned, salt and pepper, maybe a little bit of oil, but not much. And there's a guy who started the steak and lemonade kind of restaurant in Chicago, and his name is Baba. But Baba used to own a whole bunch of restaurants, but he gave up the business for the most part. He still has one or two of them out in the suburbs, but he doesn't. He used to have like 40. So he has one or two of them now, but it's still really common for steak and lemonade restaurants in Chicago to be called Baba's, but Baba himself has nothing to do with them. Because it's kind of like a brand name, and Baba doesn't have any sort of rights on the name or anything like that, or has never claimed them. So if you go to Google Maps and you type Baba's Steak and Lemonade, you'll find a bunch of locations will come up, but he's actually only owns a couple of those, not like the 40 or whatever that show up. And some of them are first generational, like they bought from him, and some of them are their own. They started it and they were just like, we're calling this place Baba's, even though Baba never had anything to do with that restaurant. So a steak and lemonade is kind of like a Chicago style hoagie. So it's steak, lettuce and tomato. The steak itself has been pepper and salted, but it's not spicy. Then it's a big sandwich too. It's like a foot long or larger, and onions and sometimes peppers, and then like I said, most people get a Chicago style, which is tomato, lettuce, and mayonnaise. Excuse me. It's good. It's good. It's not a Philly cheesesteak. It's like a derivative of a Philly cheesesteak. It's its own version. There used to be a restaurant chain that was is gone now. In Chicago, and it's gone. It was called Hoagie Hut. But the Hoagie Hut is largely gone now. You might still find it, but the original place is gone, and a hoagie is more or less a Chicago style Philly cheesesteak. So it's chopped steak that's been cooked on a grill with onions, and lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise. And if you're a fatty, bacon, which I highly recommend. Man, hoagie. Yeah. So there are other people who call other things hoagies, but that's why you just predicate that you're talking about a Chicago style hoagie. Okay, there's a cougar out there. I did not shoot that cougar. Someone died fighting a cougar. Maybe we helped? Not sure what happened there. We didn't do it. There's another cougar. Alright, so we need to get the band together here. Get everybody out here to shoot at this fucking cougar. Because cougars will kill anybody one-on-one. So we scared it off, but that's not good enough. We need to hunt the cougar until it's dead. The most dangerous game. Cougars. Like Granny Salazar. That person didn't die. They got taken off the map by their friend. I'm not really sure what happened there, but I do know that he dropped a bunch of medicine. So let's go get that, Ops. We don't want that to go to waste out there. We want that sweet medicine for us. Alright, get another chest table here. We're failing to build these very well, so Iron Hood's not the greatest constructor. Yeah, so Chicago style hoagie. I'm trying to bring that up, but it doesn't actually look like that'll come up. there used to be one up in Waukegan. I think there's still one in Waukegan, which is a far northern, not quite a suburb, but a far north satellite of Chicago. It's definitely in what people would call Chicagoland, but it is not a suburb. It's its own municipality. It's about 90 minutes outside of the city. You know, it's probably fair to call it a suburb now, but it wasn't built like a suburb, like Northbrook is a suburb, or Oak Park is a suburb. Waukegan was its own kind of separate municipality and space. So there used to be a hoagie hut in Waukegan out on Grand, almost a Gurnee. I don't know if it's still there. It doesn't look like it. No, it is. It is still out there. That's fantastic. Great sandwiches. Best place to go when you've had when you need a large amount of greasy food. And there are various times in one's life that a large amount of greasy food is useful. A hoagie really hits the spot. It's like you know, it's like a Philly cheesesteak, but doesn't pretend to be one because it has lettuce and tomato and mayonnaise, which are not on a Philly cheesesteak. Those don't come on Philly cheesesteaks unless you ask for it. And then the Philly cheesesteak guys look at you and they're like, yeah, sure. And they think less of you. And they probably say bad things about your mom when you ask for it on a Philly cheesesteak. But if you ask for that on a hoagie, the guys will be like, yeah, absolutely, sure, no problem. No problem. That was an attempt at the regional accent for the sort of guys that say no problem. No problem. Where's your mom? What do you mean, where's my mom? Where is she? I haven't seen her in a while. That's all I'm saying. Can we not talk about my mom that way? Come on! I like your mom. She likes me. I'm not trying to be your dad. No. No. All right, we got gun turrets, ladies and gentlemen. So that's good. They're not trying to be your dad. I'm not trying to be your dad, but your mom and me, we got something special. And I just don't want there to be anything weird. I want to be your friend. You need like $10 or something? Hey, do you know where I can get some weed? Too real. Anyways, we haven't even tackled the subject of hot dogs or pizzas, and yet we've obviously seriously covered Chicago cuisine. It's good. It's good. I really miss it. Where I live now, it doesn't come close. There is regional cuisine up here, up in the Great North Woods. Probably, I don't really want to talk about it because then I'll dox where I actually live. What can I say? So, I can talk about the general things, but I won't talk about the specific regional foods here. But there are far less Latin American and other immigrants, and so the Mexican places are not as good. In Chicago, there's like a ton of Mexican Americans, and then there's a ton of El Salvadorans, and my wife and I used to go to this fantastic restaurant in Chicago that was down the street from our house. That was an Ecuadorian restaurant, and it wasn't like a fancy sit down. It was like you went and got what the fuck did they call them? They're deep fried. Packets of meat and potato. They're kind of like a dumpling, but they're not a dumpling. I can't fucking. I can't. It was in. It was in. It's in. Where the fuck was it? It wasn't in Irving Park. It's off the blue line at Logan Square. So it's in Logan Square. It doesn't look like it's open anymore. I'm looking at the satellite map. It doesn't look like it's open anymore. So, I mean, it's like kind of like a papusa, like or a dumpling. Like I said, it's you know, a stuffed, deep fried empanada. Real good, like a little turnover stuffed with stuff. You know, like a dumpling or whatever. Really fantastic. Not, you know, a lot of things that people assume are like South American in origin. They think of them as like, oh, they must be spicy, but you know, this wasn't spicy. This was flavorful, but not like hot or spicy. Anyways, so where I live now doesn't have, you know, Latin Americans in any degree. There's a few Mexican families from what I can tell here and there, but so the corner Mexican joints suck. And there's very few Indians, and Chicago has an entire neighborhood full of subcontinental Indians up on Devon Avenue. And of course the suburbs are full of doctors and lawyers and engineers who are Indians. And so the Indian food is I mean, there's a Nepalese place up here that's pretty good. It's near me. But it doesn't compare. And then the you know, every 5 miles in Chicago, every 2 miles in Chicago, there's like a Thai place or a Chinese place that is just like top tier takeout food. There's nothing like that here. Not even close. Not for a second. And so, you know, the food here is extremely lacking. My bad. I'm gonna do that one. Oh, come on. Your mom and I, you know, we you know, I'm not your dad. I'm not trying to be your dad. I know. I mean, you know, but you know, some people just want a fucking burrito. Yeah. So anyways, so they do have regional food here, but it's the beer is good. I'll give them that. There's a couple microbreweries that are pretty good. But you know, I used to live in a neighborhood called Bucktown in Chicago. Bucktown is on the north side. It's a relatively affluent neighborhood, right? It's a largely white and Asian, but my wife and I lived in what was probably the cheapest apartment in Bucktown. We were doing fine, don't get me wrong. But down the street from us were like, you know, multi-million-dollar double lot houses, like palaces, basically. Nothing like the little 2-bedroom apartment we were in. And down the street from that apartment was a Korean fusion restaurant that sold like 5 things. They sold BMAP, and they sold dumplings, and they sold Korean tacos that were this beautifully marinated steak in flatbread. So nothing like a real taco, obviously. But it was like a family-run business. The woman had been like a chef at a high-end restaurant, and this was kind of like her project. And the fucking food was amazing. The marinated steak was just outstanding, and they sold like 5 things. You couldn't even get drinks there. Like it was just like you couldn't get a soda there. They didn't sell any fucking French fries. You know, that is a great restaurant. There's nothing like that where I live now. There's nothing that's just like, oh, I've got a brilliant product, I'm going to sell it down the street in a little storefront. It just doesn't happen here. The collision of culture creates, like, you know, elevates cooking and other cultural products. So like music and art and stuff like that. So when culture A smashes into culture B, the end result is like a far more interesting and novel, you know, occurrence. Like it really changes everything. And that's why food from Chicago and other cities, I'm sure, but Chicago in particular, is so good. And that's how you get the Chicago style hot dog. All right, and the Chicago style hot dog is a microcosm of Chicago immigration. All right, and this is a non-controversial statement. So the hot dog is a hot dog, obviously, and it's an all beef hot dog, usually a Vienna beef dog, right? Vienna Beef is a company that is in Chicago, but all beef, right? Right. That's a Polish or a German thing, right? And then you get yellow mustard, not fucking brown mustard, you know, but bright yellow, American yellow mustard. And it's like you know, French's Polkman's is probably the most common you'll see in Chicago is Polkman's mustard. Mild yellow mustard, okay? And that's like that's a Polish German tradition, right? Then you get white onions, which, you know, white onions are a European vegetable, but they're from everywhere and everybody uses them. You get sweet pickle relish, like a neon green, like unnaturally bright green relish, and a pickle relish. That's like a Southern European thing. That's not Poland, not Germany. It's you know, like the Balkans. And then you get tomato, a lovely tomato. Of course, tomato is a real New World food, right? Tomato is from the Americas. You know, Italian cuisine didn't have tomatoes until, you know, the reverse colonization of Europe with American cultivars. And I don't mean American as in USA, I mean Americas. So the tomato, the potato, those foods originated in this hemisphere, in this part of the world. And then after the tomato, you get pickled sport peppers. Now, this is like a chili pepper, which is like a Mexican thing. That's that's a Colombian thing. That's an American thing. And the sport pepper is a small green pepper. It's not very intense, but it has a unique taste. That's then pickled in vinegar. I want you to help save one of his caravans now. And that's a Mesoamerican thing. So that's a kind of Mexican American cultural thing. And then celery salt. Now, unbeknownst to some people, celery is at one time Chicago, specifically the area of Chicago that is now named Lakeview, was the celery capital of the world, as in more celery was grown in that place than anywhere else. Now that is no longer true. Lakeview is like a heavily dense neighborhood. There's no crops in it or anything like that. But more celery was grown there than anywhere else in the world. So celery salt is made from celery seeds. So you get all these different cultural aspects: the Mesoamerican, the German American, the Polish American, the Slavic influences, and you make it into a sandwich called the Chicago style hot dog. Which, of course, hot dogs are sandwiches by definition, and it's really just amazing. You also typically get a pickle on it too, but that's besides the point. You don't put ketchup on it because you have tomato and salt and a bunch of vinegar. So that's all ketchup is. Ketchup is vinegar, tomato, salt, and a little bit of sugar. So why would you need ketchup if you put all that on there separately? And you eat it out of like a little cardboard tray, and that's it. It's one of the greatest. It's one of the greatest cuisines, location-specific cuisines there is. There's a lot of other fantastic cuisines. Don't get me wrong, but there's also that Chicago-style hot dog, and it's just amazing because it doesn't exist without mass immigration and cultural diffusion. It just doesn't exist without people coming from somewhere else and tasting other people's food and being like, oh, this is really good. I gotta make this. But I'm gonna do my own little twist on it. And that's why it's an amazing food, and that's why like the whole concept of it is so amazing. And you can't really compare something like, say, New York pizza, which people love. I don't care for it, frankly. I don't like the crust. You can't compare that with something like a Chicago style hot dog, because a New York pizza is a Neapolitan pizza that's been kind of like Americanized, and that's just one cuisine from World War II. The soldiers that went to Italy saw Napoli pizza, and they brought it over here, and they made a slightly American version. They didn't have the same cheese, they didn't have the same toppings. They made something close to it, and they sold it here, and that's New York pizza. That's not the same thing. It wasn't made here. It was just varied here. And, Chicago style pizza is also a variation, but that's another matter entirely of that food. And it wasn't created here, though it was actually, that variant was made here, but the pizza itself, is a tradition elsewhere. So, it's the difference between a taco, which is amazing, and there are regional variants to tacos, and the Chicago style dog. And one of them is a cuisine that you can get a recognizable taco, anywhere from, Brazil on up, basically. You can get a tortilla with something on top of it that's held in one hand, basically anywhere in that area. But you can really only get a Chicago style hot dog with the correct ingredients in Chicago, because the manufacturers of those ingredients are largely not big enough to export or anything like that. But you can only invent it there as well. You can only come up with the idea there as well. Vienna beef hot dogs are absolutely essential for the Chicago style dog, and Vienna beef is a Chicago company. It used to be up on the north side, but the factory is down on the south side now, because they made a deal with the city to move their factory but stay in town. It's the best hot dog there is. It's the highest quality hot dog there is. It has such great casing and such great flavor. It's not really comparable. I mean, people like Nathan's and stuff, but it's just not the same. We got a raid. Let's see. Oh, there's a bunch of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up there. Are there anywhere else? Last time one came in from the bottom, if you know what I'm saying. No, it's just those 7. Okay, well, that's interesting. They're not going to attack just yet. They'll be ready, though. And so we have to be ready. Can we survive it? I don't know. Probably not. It's a big raid. Big raid. So the The other thing, there we go. The other thing about the Chicago style dog, right, is that it's a convenience food that's difficult to eat because it's got so much on it. Like, it's not this a New York hot dog with mustard, like taken from a cart. It's like something that's this big and it just fits in your hand and you eat it. Chicago style hot dog has to be like eaten off a tray. It's difficult. Oh, that's no good. You guys gotta do better. Shoot him! Kill him! One down. Okay, everybody shoot this dude. Oh, Ironhead's getting his ass kicked. Oh, now Pepper. Oh my god, we're done. We're dead. We're dead. Oh, Pepper's down. Oh, 4chan is down. Oh, Salazar, Granny Salazar. It's up to you, Aubrey. Oh. Well, that's it. That's RIP. RIP the colony. Oh, there's a mysterious stranger just showed up. A man in black just showed up. But it doesn't matter. It's too late, man in black. It's too late. Shoot Itro. Don't let him kidnap your friends. They stole all of us. Oh, man. Shoot him, man in black. Don't let him off the map. Get him. Come on. Well, that's it. We lost. RIP colony. All right, I gotta be done anyways. Thanks for joining me. I'll be back on Monday at about 10:30 a.m. Have a good one.